Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Supermarket Simulator. Last time we were here, I kind of made a rant. I mean, it's not abnormal. Games like this, the only way I can really fill the dead air is with me ranting about something, whether that's work or whatever comes into my little twisted mind that pops up. But what I wanted to say was that I kind of feel like I maybe was a little off-putting, and if anybody felt like that, I do apologize. I shouldn't go on the way I did, and that is my fault. So if anybody did feel off-put, I apologize for that. My intentions of telling stories from work and things like that is to hopefully bring light to what retail is. Um, because I definitely feel like some of my interactions with customers have been, well, for one, from people just not understanding what retail is like. But then also, I feel like there are some people who have never worked retail, and this is just a good way of being like, hey, this is what the job is. So that way there's no wrong impressions of it, I guess you would say. I guess I came off a little... Not really sure the word to use, honestly, but it was... I definitely feel like I was a little off-putting, and again, I apologize for that. But regardless, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a follow-up. And maybe this time be a little bit more positive, a little bit more cheery about things, and not so screw people. So I guess for my rant today and my, work stories, I wanted to do a little bit more positivity. I wanted to talk more about, I guess, some of my more positive customers that I've dealt with in the past. Right off the bat, the first person I can think of was back when I was at GameStop. There's this one woman and her family, super friendly people. We never really went out of our way for them. It wasn't like we didn't go out of our way because we didn't care or anything of that nature. It was just generally like, hey, you're a customer, you're asking for something, we're gonna do what you ask. Like, it's part of the job, you know. We never went out of our way for any given reason. But after a while, they just became really friendly towards us, and we started picking up on their names. So eventually, if their kid pre-ordered something, but then something else similar came in, we'd call them like, hey, listen, your item came in. By the way, this figure came in. Not sure if your kid be interested in it. Now, to be specific, he was always into like the Star Wars Black figure, the Black Series figures. And I remember her son had pre-ordered. I don't remember what character it was. I think he was like Darth Revan, and we happened to get an Ahsoka in. I think it was. Again, I don't remember the exact characters. I'm also not really good with Star Wars, so I can't really tell you 100%. But I called her up, and I let her know, like, hey, this figure's here for your kid, but then also we have another figure I'm not sure if you'd be interested in, but if you want it, let me know, and I'll put it to the side. And she was like, oh, yeah, absolutely, please, put it, if you could, that'd be great, thank you. And after a while, her family just got really friendly with us, to the point where when they would come in, after we helped them, the mom was always like, do you guys want coffee? And we were like, no, it's fine. You don't got to give us nothing. Like, generally, we're just doing our jobs. We don't expect anything. We just, we're appreciative of people being nice, but we don't expect anything. And she was like, no, I'm getting you coffee. So we're like, all right. And I remember one day it was Thanksgiving. We were working Thanksgiving night. And her and her husband was knocking on our door. We're like, kind of hate to be asses, but we're closed. Like, it can't really help you. We go to the door. We tell them, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? We're closed. And they're like, no, nothing. It was, we just want to give you guys coffee and donuts for Thanksgiving. It was such a nice surprise. It was really just, we were thankful. It was a really nice little Thanksgiving surprise. They were really friendly people. I actually almost got a job through her husband in security. I kind of turned it down because it was just like the pay wasn't really there, and considering what I deal with as it is for retail, I just didn't really see it worth it. Maybe it would be good for the resume. Having a security license may also be nice. Maybe employers will look at that. I don't know. I'm on the fence personally still about that, but I kind of turned it down. One of my other customers, who also GameStop, ended up becoming, I'd say, pretty decent friends. I mean, we keep up when we can. He's busy with him and his fiance. I'm busy with my life. It is what it is. It's nothing personal, but I remember at first they started off as you're just general customers, nothing special. And I don't know how we ended up getting into it, but we started talking about like Fallout 76. And I guess from there on, we just really hit it off. And me, him, and his fiance, we ended up becoming really decent friends. Um, we had a running gag for the longest time because in Fallout 76, he became known as the Mountain Man, at least in our server, because of the fact that he'd set up his house in a mountain, and if anybody goes near his mountain, he'll come down and beat the crap out of you. I think he would also use melee weapons too, if I remember correct. So he became known as the Mountain Man, and our running gag between us was always like either when him and his fiance would leave or they were coming into the store, as I'm in the middle of something, I'll give him a look and be like, by the way, visited that mountain of yours. So jokingly, he'd be like, get the fuck off my mountain. So it was a joke, but it was fun. I remember I told him the story about how I got searched by the TSA. I can't really repeat what he said, but it was such a knee-jerk reaction. Like, he made this joke. Again, can't really repeat it because YouTube. But immediately after he said what he said, he says this and goes, holy shit, did I just say that? Is anybody in the store? And he's looking around. I'm like, dude, you're good. You're good. Put it this way. It was something he shouldn't have said, but I know it was meant to be a joke. So all was good. Anyway. But yeah, him and his fiance, they're friends of mine now. I keep up with them through Steam. And on the occasion, we've played games. I know we were supposed to play Helldivers together, but we never got a chance to. I gotta reach out to him one of these days. Now I'm talking about him, I gotta reach out and be like, hey, Helldivers, let's go. All joking aside. I'm trying to think of another customer I had. Actually, no, good customer. A recent update to that last story. So the guy I told you guys about in the last video, the one who I was kind of speaking for me and him, the guy that came in and started using language he shouldn't have been using. Not necessarily an update to him, but I guess like a good positive note to end my week on, I guess. So I had a customer come in a couple days ago, right? Prior to the angry guy. And she comes in, she had a broken iPhone 11. Looks at me, she's like, what can I do with this? So I give her some options. I tell her, hey, listen, you can upgrade, you could do this, you could do that, whatever. And she tells me, honestly, what's the most cost-effective option to do in my case? So I look at her and I'm like, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, I can either get a sale offer or I can just find the easy fix. Easy fix was going through her insurance, which she does have with us. Sort of. Side note, our insurance isn't like our insurance. So if you have insurance with Verizon, it's more of like we work with a third party and that third party sends you a replacement phone, a used phone. But they're the ones that do your insurance. We don't. So if you came into a Verizon store looking to do a insurance claim, we can't do it. It's just not something our system has. We go through Assurion specifically. So I tell her all this. I'm like, listen, honestly, the most cost-effective option, it really depends on you. If you want a new phone, go for the 15. If you don't care and you just want a phone that works and you just want a replacement, insurance. That's honestly my opinion to you. So she goes, I'll go through insurance. How do I do it? I'm like, just go to phoneclaim.com or customer service and they should be able to help you out. All right, cool, thank you. 2 days goes by. Like I said, I deal with angry guy. Next day, I'm a little in this mood of like, I don't want to be here because, you know, you just get into a mood, you know, when people put you down, you're down. That's really what it is. She comes in, and I'm like, oh, hey, you know, what's going on? And she's like, please help me. I'm like, okay, what's up? Like, what happened? Long story short, she tells me how she was on the phone with customer service for about 2 hours straight. No one could help her. They're giving her a runaround. They won't take her money. She just needs help. Her phone, the reason why she needed customer service to run her transaction for her is because her phone wasn't working. The screen is just shot. There's no way for her to properly input the, you know, her credit card information. So she's like, please, like, I can't deal with it right now. Like, she was, like, stressed. Like, you could see it on her face. She was stressed out. She was aggravated. And like, I understand her feeling because I have to deal with the same customer service when my customers have a problem and I gotta go through them. So I understand her feelings totally. So she has every right to feel what she's feeling, totally. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, what can I really do to help? Because I told her, I was like, listen, honestly, we don't have a back end for the insurance. That's a separate entity with us. Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, all right, did they send you anything to input? Like, did they send you a text message, an email, anything through your phone at all? And she's like, no, I just went through the website. So then she starts, going on, telling me about customer service, how bad it is. And as she's doing that, I'm going online. I'm going to Assurion's website. I put in her phone number, and sure enough, her existing claim comes up. And I'm like, oh, shit. So as she's going on about this, I kind of like chime in. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry, what's your phone number? So she reads off her phone number to me. I punch it in. I have her credit card. She hands it to me, and she's still going on. So far as she knows, I'm trying to figure something out. What she doesn't realize is I've already figured it out, and I'm fixing it. So as she's telling her story, telling me about how upset she is with customer service. It's ridiculous how they treated her. I can't believe customer service treats people like this. I look at her and go, here you go, it's done. And she goes, are you serious? You just fixed it? I'm like, yeah, you're good. Just, we finished your claim before 5 o'clock, so you can expect your phone. Usually what I've been told is if you do your claim before 5 p.m., you'll have your phone by the next morning. If not, Friday. She's like, I can't believe you just fixed that in 3 minutes. I'm like, yeah, it wasn't that hard. I mean, I just needed your information in the tablet. I mean, I just did this as if I were you. I just need another device. She's like, that's ridiculous that customer service put me on hold. Not a hold, but I'm sorry. They ran her through for like 2 hours straight. And she goes, and you fixed it in just 3 minutes? Like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, Nick. And she's like, what number can I call to give you a commendation? And I'm like, you don't have to do it. No. She goes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right here in front of you because I want you to know I'm serious. She goes, it's bull how they treat people, and you fixed my problem. You deserve something. So I'm like, okay. So I gave her a customer services number. She demanded to have, talk to a supervisor. She gets on the phone with a supervisor, and she just starts going off. She's like, I was on the phone with them for 2 hours. None of them helped me. They all suck. Customer service sucks. But I came into the store, and this guy, Nick, and I gave her the store's location code so that way they knew exactly what store it was. She goes, he helped me in less than a minute. In less than 3 minutes, he fixed my problem. I'm dumbfounded at how dumb customer service is, but I am astounded by his professionalism and his kindness and just how easily he was able to help me. And, it's like she just kept going on, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, it was a boost for me, honestly. Like, it was that nice little pat on the back that I honestly needed after dealing with the last guy. It genuinely felt good to be able to help someone. And I'm going to tell you guys, when it comes down to retail, especially my job at Verizon, I'm a salesman. I need to make money. I need to make commission. I'm not going to deny that. But I also don't want to screw people. Like, if I have the opportunities to help people, I want to help people as best I can. So if I have an opportunity to drop someone's bill, if I have an opportunity to give someone a free phone in some way, shape, or form, I'll do it. If I have a way of helping a customer save money in any way possible, I'll do it. But, it's when it comes down to sales, it's kind of a gray area. It's like, all right, well, I need to make enough money to keep my boss happy, but I also want to save the customer money, both because I want to feel good about myself and also I want customers to trust me. So I want a good rapport with people, but I want my boss to like me. So I have to kind of find this middle ground between selling and saving people money. So whenever I have moments like this, when I have a customer who's just happy that I helped them, it feels good, and I'm happy about that. Also, apparently, I'm not sure how true this is, but I don't really question people, because why do I care whether or not you're telling me the truth on this? But she was telling me that she's some actress, and that, what'd she tell me? She's a producer or something. Again, I don't really remember specifics about that. That part I wasn't really paying attention to too heavily. I was just more appreciative how nice she was towards me, and that also that she was just giving me the compliment that she was. That's really where I was more. I was just happy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best word I could say. I was happy, and honestly, next time if she comes in, I'll be definitely a little bit more inclined to help her. Not even because of the fact that she did something nice for me. It's just like, in my experience with customer service, it's just whenever you have a nice person, you're really more inclined to just help them. When you deal with the public and you deal with the nonsense, whether it's corporate or just nasty customers, when you do have a good customer, you want to help them. So her, I might bend the rules a little bit more just to be nice. And I'll tell her dead honest. I'm like, listen, look, I'm supposed to charge you for this, but I can bullshit my boss a little bit and help you out. Like, some people I can do that for. It depends on the person. It really depends. But no, overall, she was really cool. And it was just that boost that I needed that. I needed that pat on the back. So I'm only thankful that she came in. You know, it was a weird, guess, karma situation, I guess. I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comment section what you think about it. Part of me hopes I see her again, honestly. Again, I need more customers like her, just generally nice people. But anyway, I'm about to go into a rant that I really don't need to go into, so I apologize for that. Again, hope I'm not off-putting. I'm sorry. I ramble. That's my problem. I ramble. But oh my god, I'm running out of stuff in my store. I need to order stuff. Anyway, as I was saying. Why am I giving you so much money? Dear God. Why did you give me so much money? Anyway. I'm trying to just think of other good customers I've had. Because I want to follow up the last video on a positive note. I want to be positive. Remember this one guy. Again, I don't really want to use names. But came into my store. He was a regular in my store. He would come in when he could. But he was also a nerd like the rest of us, which was really cool too. So like whenever gaming related stuff occurred, I could always have a good conversation with him. And I remember one day, I dealt with him and his family for a while. So I knew who he was. I knew who his kids were. So generally, you get to know people, you're a little nicer to them. So he comes in, he's like, hey, I need a new headset. You know, I heard about this HyperX headset. I heard it's good. I'm like, honestly, I like them. I've used them myself. So if you're looking for something a little bit more on the budget end of things, it's a good headset. Good brand. And he's like, do you have any in stock? I'm looking. I'm like, well, it's in one of my shipment boxes right now. It's in the back room somewhere. He goes, oh, then if anything, I'll come back. I'm like, nah, you know what? For you, hold on. He's like, you don't have to do it. I'm like, yeah, hold on. I got you. I go in the back room. I ripped open like 3 or 4 shipment boxes just to find this one pair of headphones. And I came out with him and goes, did you really dig through your inventory just for that headset for me? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I know you. You're one of my good customers. So, yeah, of course I'm going to take care of you. So, he's like, that's not going to be a problem for your inventory? I'm like, listen, all I have to do is put it into inventory that I have it, and it'll balance out. Because the way GameStop's inventory used to work was, if I sold you an item that I didn't actually have, or that inventory didn't recognize I had in stock, it would come up as a negative. So in his case, that headset, right? I sell the headset, comes up as a negative. So what I would do is then I would go ahead, input inventory, and then it would +1. So now we went from negative to 0. So our inventory is accurate now at this point. That's just how it worked. So if I had a customer who was interested in an item that I had in my inventory that I hadn't taken in yet, that was just an easy way of handling things. Like, okay, sure, here's the item in question. I'll fix it later. No worries. It was an easy fix. You know, corporate didn't care. They made their money. It was whatever. But again, for him, yeah, I'm going out of my way for you. Because again, he's a regular customer. He was awesome. There were a couple of times I remember where we just kind of like broed out. And I remember when he found out that our store was closing, he was kind of upset about it. So, and he hugged me. I was just like, it was nice. So I've had relationships with customers like that where they're just generally friendly people, where you don't even feel like they're a customer anymore, where they're more just a friend. You know, they're this friendly customer that comes in, you know them by name, you know their story, you know who their family is, and you tend to just look out for them. You know, you look out for them, they look out for you, and sometimes they come back around and they're like, hey, I remember you telling me that you needed help with something, so I got you covered on this. You know, you have those situations with some customers. And, you know, I want, like I said, for the last video, I know I was kind of going on about the negatives. And it's generally because customer service isn't the greatest industry. Most of that's because of corporate, and some of that's for your typical Karens. But I don't want it to seem like it's a miserable line of work. It's not great. It's just not as hell. Because you do have your share of good customers, and I've definitely had plenty of fantastic customers. People that, if I happen to find out that they shop at one of my newer stores, you know for a fact I'm going out of my way for them. That's not even a question. I would 100% go out of my way for them. I'm an idiot. I'm not paying attention to what the game's telling me. I should have just did this. I'm stupid. But there are customers that I would definitely go out of my way for. 100%. Just because, like I said, they're all really good people. And especially when you're in a line of work like that can be stressful at times, sometimes you just need that positivity. So, like I said, I made the last video, and I make some of these videos with the intent to try to bring light to what retail is, or what retail can be. But I feel like my last video didn't really hit the nail on the head as well as it could have, and I apologize for that. And I hope that this video kind of gives an alternate parallel to what retail can also be. Like, yeah, you can have your shitheads. You can absolutely have customers that you look at and you're like, you mothers, sisters, uncles, nephew, yeah. You know? You can get those customers. But then you can also get some of the customers that I've had, and all you have to do is see that person. You're like, all right, jump through hoops. Let's go. Then again, you also do have some of your funnier situations, like this guy who can't seem to know where the hell he's going. I guess he's going to be my new employee tonight. Anyway, like I remember Danny scared the shit out of a guy because the guy was trying to fight him. A guy was trying to force him to take a Wii that we threw out. He came in with his Wii that he dumpster dived from our dumpster, tried to sell it to us, and Danny told him no. So the guy was like, "You're gonna give me money for it." So Danny goes, "Sir," takes his ID out, throws it on the counter, goes, "I'm a United States Army veteran. I'm gonna let you know right now. If you continue to press me like this, you're gonna." I can't remember the exact wording, but basically he said, "Legally speaking, I have the right to punch the shit out of you. So if I do, it's not my fault. It's your fault." And then he kind of gave him this like eye twitch, like he was about to snap. Guy got scared, grabbed the weed, and ran the hell out of the store. But you have some moments like that too. These moments where, you know, your coworkers do some kind of goofy shit, and you end up having a good laugh. Retail is a beast in of itself. In short, it's a beast. Not all bad, and from some of my customers, my coworkers, I've definitely learned that it's different. It's a different thing every day. It's not terrible. It's just you kind of gotta prepare yourself. That's really the best way I could say. You gotta prepare yourself. And like I said, I don't know if I'm rambling. I'm probably rambling. I apologize again if I am, but I tell these stories because I'm hoping to shed some light. Because I feel like a lot of some of my more negative interactions with customers have been predominantly because some customers just genuinely don't know what retail is like. You know, I feel like when you apply empathy to some things, you tend to act differently. Like a good example, my father used to be one of those. He used to be kind of a Karen. I'm not going to deny that. He used to give retail employees crap all the time for stuff. And I used to bite his head off for it. I'm like, do you even know what I deal with? And after a couple of years of telling him some of these stories, he's totally chilled out. Like, he's done a 180. Like, he's learned, like, wow. Oh, I'm an idiot. I kept my store closed. I'm stupid. But he's learned, like, oh, this is what my kid deals with. And it's gotten to the point where now he's like, you know, if I yell at this guy, am I not yelling at someone's kid right now? Just like how someone yells at my kid. And he kind of taught me that I feel like people act towards retail employees the way they do because they don't know. And I think if more people knew what we in retail deal with, there would be less aggravation because there'd be, I guess, more empathy. People understand better. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if I'm wording that right, but again, it's not really me venting. Part of my last video was a vent. I'll admit that. Part of it was a vent because I was kind of dealing with it. Admittedly, I don't know why, but that last guy really bothered me a lot. Like, I actually kind of lost sleep that night. And again, it was weird to say that. I don't know why. I really just can't tell you why, but I just could not get it out of my head. And it just bugged the hell out of me. But that's, again, kind of why I talked about it, admittedly. And again, I apologize if I came off as very If it came off as worse than it was meant to be, I apologize. I don't mean to put anybody off. You know, like I said, it's not really my intentions, and again, I apologize. But I hope that this brought about a little bit more of a positive light. One more story I can give you that I can think of right off the bat in my head. Right off the bat that I can think of. Me messing with my coworkers. So I was a ball buster. I loved screwing with coworkers if I could. And there was this one guy, Gary. Couldn't be saying names. I'm sorry. But, alright, I already kind of opened that cat out of the bag. Anyway, he was like the shortest guy out of the staff. Like, to give you an idea, I'm about 5'6". This dude was shorter than me. So we had what was called a U-boat, which is like a metal cart that you can use to shuffle around large shipment boxes, right? So Gary is like half the size of the damn U-boat. So he's pushing the U-boat. He's got boxes stacked up taller than him. He's pushing the U-boat. I see him going down the aisle, and I'm like, oh, I gotta screw with Gary. This is a great opportunity to just screw with this guy. Because he's a good guy. He's great. You know, I know he's good with humor, so I'm like, I'm gonna screw with him. So I wait at the end of the aisle. I see him coming up. I'm waiting. He doesn't see me. So I quickly speed walk in front of it, and I kind of like football tackle the opposite end of the cart. And then I quickly fall to the floor, and I'm like, oh, jeez, oh, I'm injured. Gary Gary looked like he saw a ghost. He runs, sir, oh my God, I'm so sorry, sir, fuck you, Nick, you asshole. I started dying. So he goes from pale as a ghost to then just be like, you mother. he was pissed, but he was a good sport about it. I went up, I pat him on the shoulder. I'm like, bro, screw him. He was like, I know, you ass. Oh, it was great. I loved it. He got a kick out of it too after a good minute. Like after he was able to catch his breath, he had a good chuckle out of it too. And he was a good sport. I've had some good instances during my time working in retail. I remember back at GameStop. Sometimes the store was so dead that we're bored. We're sitting there, we're just talking to each other, or we're just thinking because we have nothing to talk about. But then those thoughts would lead into a conversation, and it'd usually be something stupid. Like I remember we started talking about pop figures. So I go to my coworker, again dead, nobody's in the store. So I go up to him, I go, you know, pop movie moments. You know, those like stages with the pop figures, and they're emulating a scene from some movie, like Nightmare Before Christmas, like the Jack and that girl, I don't remember her name, Under the Moon. What if they had pop porn moments? And my boss looks at me and goes, excuse me? I'm like, think about it, think about it, think about it. Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Spider-Man's webbing Mary Jane down to the bed. He's only got the spider suit, stomach up. And Stan Lee's in the closet jacking off. So, he starts going on. He goes, well, you know, Stan Lee did say Mary Jane and Spider-Man were always his favorite couple. And then I just started going on from there. It was just like, I think we made fun of Trump being like, oh, you know, Trump and Stormy Daniels, the golden shower. He's like, stop it, Nick. I'm like, you know, once the gears start turning, that's it. It goes. It just goes. Then we ended up coming up with our own version of the MCU, but instead of it being like Endgame where all the heroes were together, but instead of it being Captain America and all them fighting Thanos, it was like a variety of different video game characters having to defend themselves against Disney buying everything out. Basically, we ended up following it along with what was it? South Park's version of Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse was ultimately the bad guy. Was it Chairman Mouse, basically? I can't remember the kind of things we were coming up with. What was it? No, I remember now. One of the gags that we had going with it was that none of the stormtroopers could find Agent 47, and they'd keep mistaking him for Mickey Mouse because he'd have the ears, because Agent 47's whole thing is disguises. Kratos would ultimately just throw his son at Mickey Mouse, have him use him as a distraction. No one could find Snake because he's always hiding in a damn box. And then I remember one time during Christmas, me and my coworkers came up with like a very inappropriate version of Spider-Man's theme that I probably can't. Like this video is already probably demonetized with some of the stuff I've said at this point, but um, yeah, no, we had fun. We had fun. At one point too, I remember there's this guy that was driving around. He had an RV that was just covered in Trump flags. I mean, covered. Now, going back to it because I keep mentioning Trump, I just want to say that again. Politically, I'm a centrist. I don't care about either side. For me, humor's humor. That's all there is to it. So that said, guy has all these Trump flags all over his RV. So it's again dead day. I'm bored. I'm just looking at this damn van and I'm like, huh? Look, it's a Trump mobile. Trump mobile. What if Trump was Batman? And then I just started coming up with ideas. I'm shooting them off to my coworker, and I'm like, what would his villains be? The Bad Hombre, Sleepy Joe, Crooked Hillary. Melania would be Catwoman, but instead of her trying to steal stuff, she's just trying to get away from him. Pence would basically be Robin. And Trump would effectively, he's like, it would be the Fortress of Yugitude. And it would just be a giant gold T in the middle of New York, yet he can never figure out why the villains can't, keep finding him. Oh god, it just, this was again, this is just what we did. GameStop got boring, so you had to come up with your own entertainment. But overall, like I said, I apologize if my last video came off wrong. And I hope that doesn't give anyone any negative impressions. And I hope that this just kind of ends things on a positive light. I don't know if I'm going to continue this game, honestly, because other than my terrible ranting, it didn't do too hot. So I might continue it. I don't know. Tell me in the comment section. Do you guys want me to play more of this? Do you want me to tell you more stories? Tell me in the comment section. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want more. I'll try to think up other stories, whether that's work or not. I don't even know what the hell to tell you at this point. I feel like I've told my stories so many damn times, I've just lost track. I'll be completely honest with you. But nevertheless, I'm happy to share. Anyway, enough ramblings. Let me end it. Actually, I have class in like 15 minutes. So I'm going to end that there and see you guys later. So thank you guys, everyone. You're all awesome. Without you, this channel does not exist. I think I'm going to end this on a positive note, I guess, in a way. I don't know how you guys are going to take this. We'll see. Tell me in the comment section. But, like I said, retail can be stressful. Sometimes it can be demoralizing. And especially when you couple that with incoming bills, sometimes you just want a moral boost, and that's honestly what this channel has been for me. Some of my interactions with you guys have been so great. I don't even have the right words for it. It's just, I can only ever be thankful. That's really my only word for it. I've had some moments with this community where they're unforgettable. I still think back to when I was doing Metal Gear Revengeance, and Rising Revengeance, I'm sorry, and we were at the end of the game, and everyone was getting into it, and everybody was trying to keep up with the theme song, typing the lyrics. Like, everyone was so pumped and into it, and like I remember I kept screwing up, and everyone was like, "Come on, Nick, you can do it." Just everyone was into it. It was a fun experience, and I love those moments with you guys. And overall, despite any kind of nonsense I deal with out in the real world, I know I always have you guys, and I can only be thankful. So, I mean it. Thank you. Because, like I said, without you guys, this channel doesn't exist. And I can only be thankful. There's nothing more that I can really say about that. 'Cause I don't really have any better words. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm getting into a tangent again, and I apologize. Overall, this channel means a lot to me, and this community means a lot to me, and it means a lot. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those of you who've been with us, I can only offer my greatest thanks and my utmost appreciation. That's all I can really say. I have no proper words. Just thank you, everyone. You're awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't done so already, like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Link in the description for the Discord. If you want to come hang out, I'll see you all there. Have a fantastic night, everybody. You guys are all awesome. I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.